Yay Networks.
Welcome back to In the Cards and Stars. I'm your host, Brit Mogensen, and today I am an alien. It's our Halloween special episode, and we're talking all about your zodiac signs that you need to look at in your birth chart when you're trying to find the perfect costume and just general Halloween vibe. Yes, this is one of the many things you can find in your birth chart, and I'm going to tell you how. We got my little ears. The floof is flying everywhere. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, you can see that, yes, I am an alien. I am dressing for my rising sign, which is Aquarius. And I have a little light up situation going on with my headband. I am feeling full alien, and guys, it feels right. And that's exactly what your rising sign is going to feel like. Here's how this episode is going to go. We're going to talk about the places that you want to look in your birth chart to get inspired for a Halloween costume. You may already have your costume picked out, but even if you do, add a touch of the zodiac signs that we're going to talk about in your chart to add a little bit of extra pizzazz with makeup, or maybe add an item, take an item off. You'll see what I mean when we get to it. And then we're obviously going to be getting into the celebrity examples. You know, we love a little pop culture tea around here. And guys, the celebs must all be into astrology because basically their greatest hits as far as costumes go have been in the form of capturing this idea that we're going to be talking about. It's crazy. They definitely are onto this, and we're about to get onto it too. So let's talk about costumes and a little bit of pop culture history before we dive into the zodiac signs. So what I'm wearing right now is a leotard onesie situation, accessorized with a lot of alien gear, but the onesie situation is actually by Trashy Lingerie. Now, Trashy Lingerie is a company in Los Angeles over on La Cienega Boulevard. I've been a huge fan of theirs for years. They make the best costumes known to man. I will stand by that. And they actually have designed a lot of the costumes that we're going to be talking about today. They do a lot of celebrity costumes. They do customs. The name is really, tongue in cheek because the clothing, it's not trashy, it's high quality, and you're going to keep it forever at these prices. You know what I mean? But I will say they just have such a unique array of costumes. And I couldn't go into all of this without mentioning some of the other classic, iconic Hollywood moments that they have delivered. So Trashy Lingerie was behind the Elle Woods corset when she showed up at the party in the all pink corset with the floof and the bunny ears when she was told that this was a costume party, but it wasn't. Iconic. They also designed the Fembot outfits from Austin Powers. Pretty cool. They've done just about all of Kylie Jenner's costumes, like the really good ones, like the warrior one, the one where she did the Playboy bunny. And then there was like some kind of snow princess thing with a hood. It was all white. It was pretty fabulous. So they did all of that. They did Paris Hilton's costume last year. Now, Paris Hilton always does a few costumes every year because she's got a lot of Aquarius in her chart. We're going to talk about that. But they did her Miss Marvel outfit that is so like superhero. It's just a perfect combination of her birth chart placements, and it was just badass. They also did a collaboration with Guess for the iconic ad with Anna Nicole Smith in the white corset top. It looks almost like she's like in a wedding dress type thing. But yeah, so that's pretty fabulous. So they've done those, and guys, so many more. If you just, I don't know, I highly recommend checking it out. If you guys like costumes and stuff like that, you can really go down the rabbit hole. It's really fun. And yeah, you can have the best costumes at any Halloween party around. All right, so let's talk about how to choose the best costume. Now that you know where to go, now that you know the best of the best place to get the costumes, let's talk about the best of the best costumes to get for you. All right, so astrology and your birth chart can just tell you so many things, right? I mean, it's pretty astounding. And included on that list of things that you can find out from your birth chart is the perfect aesthetic for you. When it comes to a Halloween costume, you got to think about like what you're trying to achieve here, right? So some people will do their rising sign, and your rising sign is basically like who you really are. And I feel like the fun thing about Halloween is that you can bring out a different side of yourself, but you can become like a caricature of yourself by leaning into your rising sign. For example, my rising sign is Aquarius and I'm dressed as an alien. That is a caricature of me. I talk about astrology and the stars. I can be a bit of a space cadet when it comes to the philosophies, the books I read, the things I get into. I know I can definitely seem a little strange to some, and I'm okay with that because that is my rising sign. You know, what can I say? That's the Aquarius lifestyle. And then if you look at someone's Venus sign, that is going to be more about like aesthetics, looks, and like what someone is attracted to and what they naturally attract into their lives. So some people choose to go full on Venus sign. 2 years ago, I went full Venus sign. I didn't even realize at the time that you could dress up for your Venus sign, or like, I didn't really realize it was a thing. But I just naturally dressed up as a Scorpio for fun. And I just totally channeled my Scorpio Venus sign. So you can do your Venus sign, and that's going to be kind of like what you're into. I wore leather. Like, I just thought, like, I thought it looked good. It looked cool. Like, it's something that I would naturally, I probably would have worn that outfit on a date, to be honest. I just put like a scorpion on my face. I like did this cool makeup look. And I actually ended up interviewing the makeup artist. So anyway, you can really take it as far as you want. So again, to recap, some people do their Venus sign solely, some people do their rising sign solely, and then some people get creative and then some people just take it to a whole new level, and they combine elements of their Venus sign and their rising sign. So for example, if I were to have done that today, which I did think about doing, but I was like, less is more. You know, like when you're in the mirror doing your makeup and you're like, if I do one more thing, it's probably going to be too much. That's kind of the vibe with this costume. So I was going to combine my Scorpio Venus by putting like some blood coming out and being like, not just an alien, but an alien who survived a spaceship crash. So that would be kind of Scorpio, right? Kind of dark, like do some blood, some red. Scorpio colors are like black and red. So I was going to like, you know, and then I just said, let's put down the makeup and let's step away and, you know, let's just keep it to the rising sign today, honey. So that is kind of the way that people will do these different things. And so let's look at some of the celebrities who have just had amazing costumes over the years. If you guys are just listening audio, I'm going to do my best to describe all of these looks so that you can picture them. Let's just get into it. This was really, really fun. I am a person who loves costumes. I love Halloween. I love dressing up. Not so much for the spooky element, to be honest. I don't even like to watch scary movies. And I did do a haunted tour while in Rome that scarred me still to this day. And it was a few months ago, and I am an adult. But I don't like the spooky things, but I love the fantasy element. I love transforming your personality, channeling something different. You know, it can be, like I said, you can really choose to bring out a totally different side of yourself. And when you decide to channel one of your birth chart placements, like whether it be your Venus rising or the combo of both, I feel like you can tap into that part of yourself even more so. And that's something you can take with you afterwards. It's a way that we can kind of get out of the box, you know, loosen up a little, have some more fun, change up our routine. Okay, let's talk about it. When you really look at these zodiac signs, there is a distinctive vibe to each of them. So when you guys are listening to the descriptions of these placements, just remember that it would go either way. So this description of Aries, for example, Venus in Aries, that description is going to describe Aries energy, whether it's your Venus sign or it's your rising sign. Okay. So just know that you can apply it to either placement. So I'm just going to kind of go through the description and then I'm going to give a celebrity example. But even if I'm describing Venus in Aries, Alessandra Ambrosio, who we're going to talk about first, if you have your Aries rising, just apply that same information. Okay, so let's get started. So Aries energy. If you have an Aries placement that you are going to be dressing for, either that Venus or that rising sign, an Aries energy example that I just think knocked it out of the park. This was actually a costume that she did quite a few years ago. I think it was 2015. Alessandra Ambrosio, the Victoria's Secret model, she dressed up as a devil, but the way that she did it was really Aries, very unique. She had thigh-high boots that are red. She did a cape, very dramatic. Aries energy is very dramatic. It's a fire sign. It's fiery. It's all the energy. Some people can say that Aries can be kind of childlike and impulsive. So just think sweeping, dramatic energy. Also, she's wearing a choker. She has a little headpiece on that has little devil horns. Another fun fact about Aries is that Aries rules the head and the face. So anything that you can do to your face where you're adding cool prosthetic makeup, if you decide to take it over to like an edgier side, Aries, I would say, would be appropriate for something edgy, sort of like Scorpio. Anything that shows, action, adventure. She also decided to wear contact lenses, and that's very Aries because of how it rules the head and the face. So think about things like that, maybe like a little fake tattoo on the face or a really dramatic makeup look. There are some awesome like tutorials for different makeup looks. I feel like it's great for like a last minute costume, but yeah, amazing. So you just want to think about red and fiery. These would be your warriors, your firefighters, even if you want to kind of go that route, cowboys, cowgirls, but just think red and fiery. I would dress in red. I got to say one more time, just because red is the power color of Aries. And if you are trying to channel that sign, I feel like the only way you can do it is wearing red. Okay. Next, we have another fiery example. So Kendall Jenner is Aries rising, but she also has her Venus in Sagittarius. And you know how I mentioned that being a cowboy or a cowgirl would be kind of perfect for an Aries placement. Kendall last year wore a Woody costume, but she did it her own way. She wore some super short little shorts, little chaps. It was a little bit cheeky, if you will. But because she has Venus in Sagittarius, Sagittarius is like very playful, childlike. Sagittarius is like the giver of gifts and luck. It rules the holiday season. And it's just very like lighthearted and fun and fantastical. There is something more nostalgic and childish about it by dressing up as like a childhood icon. And it's silly. There's just something kind of silly about it while still being, sexy. So that's very much Sagittarius. Sagittarius is like goofy and fun loving. So I thought that was really interesting. I did not know that she had her Venus in Sagittarius. So if you have a Sagittarius placement that you're dressing for, I would definitely say doing something that's fun or funny, tongue in cheek. This would be great for like those costumes that are kind of maybe like a joke or something that not everyone would think of, where it's kind of like you have to know the philosophy or like the world that character is in order to get it. So for example, another year, Kendall dressed up as one of the Mars Attacks ladies. And that was something that like, if you didn't know, if you hadn't seen that movie, you wouldn't understand what that was. It was like, it's very specific. It's very niche. But if you do know, it's hilarious. So that's how you can kind of do that Sagittarius, jovial joke kind of energy. So Sagittarius also rules philosophy. So it's definitely a thinking sign similar to Gemini. So I would say, think about your costume, see if you can deliver something that is either a part of like a certain type of universe, something niche, something that, you particularly love and feel a connection with. Like, don't be afraid to go back to like some childhood icons, things like that, because that would be really fun for you. Another person that shares the Sagittarius energy, but also has their Venus in Aquarius, and I think that she dresses for both when she does her costumes, kind of depending on what it is Paris Hilton. So last year, one of Paris's many costumes, she always does like a million costumes, okay, first of all. And they usually have to do with either like being a fairy or being someone who's going into space, a superhero. But I have noticed that it's always like something in the air. She did dress up like way, way back a few years ago. She did some fairy tale type costumes, which I mean, they were cute, but I felt like she wasn't being as much of herself as she is when she's in like this Sailor Moon costume from last year. And Brian Hearns embellished and designed this costume specifically for her. So one of her costumes was that Miss Marvel costume that I talked about at the beginning of this episode from Trashy Lingerie. And then this Sailor Moon costume was actually from Brian Hearns. And I went on his TikTok and I was actually watching him put like the crystals on one by one. It was so cool. Like I said, I love costumes. I love this stuff. So she goes all out. She gets things custom made. And I'm not surprised because, like I said, Sagittarius rules the holiday season. That is her rising sign. So her energy is naturally to be someone that loves festivities, that loves the holidays, and that wants to have fun and bring joy to people. And she can do that by dressing up in different costumes and having a good time, bringing the party. Her Venus is in Aquarius, though. And that's why, much like my alien costume, I feel like she's always channeling some sort of like anime character. So if you are trying to channel your Aquarius placement, think of anything like space related, anything that is a fairy, so like of the air, because air signs, it's just kind of ethereal. Think sparkles. Paris Hilton also dressed up literally as Mr. and Mrs. Aquarius for her first Halloween with her now husband, Carter Room. So funny, so cute. So not only does she have her Venus in Aquarius, but she also has an Aquarius sun, which is why I think it's such a big part of her aesthetic. Her husband, Carter, has his sun in Aquarius as well. So that's why they did the Mr. and Mrs. Aquarius. They wore blue. She did her fabulous looks that she always does with the wings. She really makes it her own. That's another thing. If you were dressing for an Aquarius placement, don't be afraid to mix and match and really make your costume your own. You guys aren't necessarily like the off the rack type of people. Hence, that's what I did. I got the bodysuit from a place I loved. And then the rest, I was like all over the place, getting something here, there, everywhere. The earrings, this, like the little headpiece I have on, because Aquarius really does march to the beat of their own drum. Okay. And you can see that she does this. She works with people on custom costumes. So everything for you guys is probably going to be more custom. You guys aren't necessarily going to just buy something straight out of the package. And if you don't want to buy something, like I said, this would be another great one to do a really cool makeup look. Someone that everyone knows and loves, and I do mean just about everyone, Taylor Swift. And Taylor Swift has her Venus in Aquarius. You may be surprised to hear this. Now, if you look at Taylor Swift and the things that she wears, overall, I would say that when she's on stage, she dresses for her rising sign, which is Scorpio. Scorpio is all about things that have meaning, depth. Scorpio is about death and rebirth. When you look at Taylor's costumes for the Eras Tour, every single piece has meaning, and they are very sexy, especially for Taylor, because she tends to dress a little more conservatively when she's not on stage. Now, if we look at her costumes, they've all been really, really cute and fun. Similar to what I was saying about Sagittarius, you can kind of go one way or the other with a lot of these costumes. People will channel like a different side of the zodiac sign at different times. So like Paris Hilton, she was very much, like I said, just space age, sparkles, things like that. But the other side of Aquarius that I've touched on is really about marching to the beat of your own drum and kind of being your own quirky little self, because Aquarius is very quirky and has a quirky sense of humor. And she dressed up as a squirrel one Halloween, and it was so cute. And it was just like precious. And she put a little caption on Instagram. It was like, I can't talk, doing hot squirrel shit. It was just cute. It was funny. I loved it. And this is also very Aquarius, because Aquarius sometimes doesn't feel like doing what everyone else in the crowd is doing. Aquarius will definitely just do their own thing. So if everyone's dressing sexy, they'll show up in the squirrel outfit. She was probably like, I've been in these tight outfits practicing or for photo shoots or doing whatever, and I just want to be comfy and wear a squirrel outfit and a onesie and just like live my best life. And that's what she did. So if you do have Aquarius placements that you're dressing for, remember, if you don't feel like going the galactic route, if you don't feel like all the sparkles, just do what feels comfortable. Another air sign that is very much about doing whatever the heck they want, usually with a partner, is Venus in Gemini or Gemini rising. Now, one of the most Halloween people that I can think of, one person who's a celebrity that is just synonymous with Halloween, I bet you could think of them right now as well. Heidi Klum, the queen of Halloween. She has a Gemini stellium as well as her Venus in Gemini. And I would guess that she has Gemini rising, but we don't have a confirmed birth time for her. So I'm not going to say that. But I will say she's one of the most Geminian people I've ever seen or read when I've looked at their birth chart. One of the best costumes that I think she's ever done, she's done a lot of cool costumes. She dressed up as the apple and with like a little snake on her head from Adam and Eve. Last year, who can forget the worm? That was a little spooky, but wow. I mean, she's always shocking us and surprising us, which by the way, we have a quote from her about this upcoming Halloween. And if you did want to go to her party, you can buy a ticket, guys. They're available online for $3,999 in NYC. If you've got the money, it would probably be a good story. According to People magazine, Heidi Klum teases a really extra Halloween 2023 costume. I've had sleepless nights over it, she says. What the heck? But this is after the worm when she was fully enclosed. Like, what could she possibly be, you guys? She said, I feel like it's going to be good. Heidi Klum has been losing sleep thinking of a Halloween costume that will top what she wore last year. What could she be? I am honestly on the edge of my seat about this. Known for her elaborate and over-the-top Halloween costumes, the supermodel and America's Got Talent judge teased her upcoming look while speaking with the Daily Mail on the red carpet at a taping for the show earlier this week. It's going to be extra. It's going to be really extra. I've had sleepless nights over it. You know me, she told the publication. I have to admit, I love it. And then my gut, I feel it's going to be good. Dramatic. I love it. Here's what I have observed about Gemini people. And it's not just Heidi Klum. A lot of the celebrities whose outfits that I liked, and I wanted to include every single one of them in this episode, but alas, I could not. Like most of them had some prominent Gemini placement. And so what I've gathered from this is that just Gemini, because Gemini is an air sign, it's about communicating information, but also it's like a very social butterfly sign and a chameleon. Think about it. Gemini is the only zodiac sign represented by the twins, and one of the negative sides is being two-faced. One of the positive sides is being like versatile. Naturally, it comes easily for them to be someone else, and they absolutely love it. Halloween gives them an opportunity to show off that talent and that skill set. So here are a couple of costumes that are very notable from Geminis that I think are cute and fun. So because of the ability to be several different people, I loved when Heidi Klum showed up in clones of herself. It is pretty crazy. But one year she actually came with a bunch of other people. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, with 4 additional women who are the same height. They all were wearing wigs and Heidi Klum masks. It was a multi-million-dollar costume. So I will say she commits. And it was Heidi and her clones. I mean, they didn't look exactly alike, but it was very lifelike. It was super cool. And it was just so Gemini. It's like, yeah, I loved it. Okay. And Tana Mojo actually posted on her Instagram a photo of her with her canceled podcast co-host, Brooke Schofield. They're holding hands and they're doing like the Shining, like the little girls in the Shining. They're in like matching outfits and Tana's a Gemini. And I was like, that's just such a Gemini thing. Also, last year, I was watching her YouTube channel and she did like multiple Halloween costumes. That's a thing with Gemini. So if you have a Gemini placement that's prominent and you're dressing for that for this Halloween, tell me if you guys have multiple Halloween costumes. I am so curious to know because I feel like most Geminis just do. They go all out. They love it. Okay. So that's Gemini. We love a good Gemini vibe. Another air sign, last but not least, our final air sign who definitely changes things up a lot here, Libra. So now we're going to be getting into our luxurious, glamorous costumes. We just kind of moved on from the ethereal. We did some air sign activity. We did some Sagittarius, like funny nostalgia vibes. We did some twinning with Gemini. Now we're going to do a little bit of lovely, luxurious Libra, which is going to take us into all of the beautiful signs who like to just dress up and be gorgeous. Okay. So Libra rising and Venus and Libra celebrity Beyonce, because I'm sorry, both of her placements, rising and Venus, are in Libra. She is stunning. She was destined to always be stunning, and she will be stunning forever. So, okay, so we have to obviously use her as our example. She is just such a Libra vibe, even though she's a Virgo sun. And we can see that she really channels this Libra energy of dressing beautifully, but also she likes to dress with her husband. And then once her little babies have come along, she dresses up with her whole family. So one year she went as Barbie and Ken with Jay-Z. One thing about Libra is that Libra rules a sign of partnership, not like Gemini, where Gemini, it's like the twins. Libra is like a partnership associated with love and romance. It is the antithesis of Aries, who is the fire starter. Libra is all about subtle pastels, pinks, blues, purples, romance. So for Libra, definitely if you are in a relationship, you can get your partner, which of course you can, you're very charming. They'll do whatever you want. But if you can get your partner to dress up with you, that would be ideal because you would have so much fun and you guys would really just connect even more. It would be a bonding experience. I love the idea of doing like the Barbie and Ken thing. I know that a lot of people are doing it, but you could do it kind of fun. Maybe you could have your significant other dress up as like Ken when he's wearing like the big fur coat, just working on his Kenergy with the little bandana. I mean, that could be hilarious. They also have dressed up as a couple from Coming to America. The outfits that they wore were beautiful for that. So every outfit, they did Salt and Pepper, but every outfit that Beyonce dresses up in, it's something that I honestly feel like she could wear somewhere. I mean, the outfits are fabulous. I feel like Libras wear things, the Libra placements wear things that they could technically wear somewhere else. These are the people that I think are going to be, getting a designer outfit like a lot of celebrities will do. And then they'll multi-purpose it. Like they'll put little bunny ears with it. And they're like, okay, I'm a rabbit. Or like, from Mean Girls, like, I'm a mouse, duh. Like that's a Libra. Okay. Because a Libra uses Halloween to beautify themselves and to just as an excuse to be even more beautiful over the top because Libra is ruled by Venus and we love to see it. So if that's one of your placements, I say, live it up, honey. And speaking of being ruled by Venus, of course, the other sign ruled by Venus is Taurus. And you can spot someone who's dressing for their Taurus sign, whether it's their Venus or their rising sign, because they too look lovely. They too look beautiful. Taurus is associated with like being sturdy and strong. So I feel like you might want to incorporate other elements, like maybe you could be like a warrior princess. So Megan Fox, who has her Venus is in Taurus, she actually did like sort of it's a Zelda costume last year as one of her many costumes. And she did these little like elf ears and she had like this beautiful crown on and she had golden hair, which I feel like is very Taurus. And she just looks really like lush kind of. And she's wearing some of the Taurus colors, which are like earthy tones. And it was very much giving Taurus energy. So Taurus is beautiful, but strong. So if you're looking for a costume to channel your Taurus placements, just think about beautiful yet strong. So for her, she's like the Zelda outfit. She has both the corset, which would be very feminine, but the strength would be like she has these kind of warrior gloves on that are up really high. She has a really cool kind of warrior skirt that's slit all the way up. So like you could run in this because Zelda is a warrior, but it's beautiful. She's also wearing like a little crown. I love Taurus energy. I would say Taurus, much like Libra, is the type to invest in really nice pieces for their costume and maybe even repurpose it to where it's something that they can wear later. Like they might get a skirt that's really high end and then wear it later. Also, Taurus people, you guys might go straight up period piece because Taurus also rules like over history and things that last. Taurus is an earth sign. And even though it is ruled by Venus, the earthiness of Taurus is all about things that last and like have a history. So these would be the people that might dress up as like, people from a different time period. They could do Marie Antoinette type of thing. They could do something as long as it's like elegant and classic. That's going to really hit your vibe. It's going to help your outfit just kind of pop off the page. Speaking of more beauty-ruled signs, beauty-driven signs, people who really use this as an opportunity to glam the heck up, which I love, is Leo. So Leo rising, Leo Venus, you guys do not ever need an excuse to dress up, to be glam. Heck, you'd probably wear your costume all year round. But a great example of someone who kind of tapped in to one of the Leo characteristics of celebrity. So Leo is ruled by fame. So if you have a Leo placement, you are probably going to gravitate towards, or if you haven't already, you may want to, it'd be really fun for you, dressing like another celebrity, dressing like someone else, because Leo does rule fame and celebrity status. And Leo rising Jennifer Lopez did this. And there's this post on X, which was Twitter before, from November 1st, 2020. And I'm just going to share this with you guys because I was like, whoa. So it's her wearing Madonna, like 1980s, the whole like a virgin era, where she was doing a lot of like, the layered pearls and like the corset that's like really lacy. And she like has a really sensual pose. And she wrote, "Didn't know how lost I was until I found you, ... at A-Rod, who, as we know, they broke up and she's now married to Ben Affleck. But then she has like a little wedding emoji, kiss emoji, happy Halloween, hashtag happy Halloween, and then like 2 Halloween emojis. So this was only 3 years ago, okay? Wow. So she's bounced back better than ever. Interesting. But I will say, she's doing that thing of dressing like a different celebrity. Oh my gosh, even her earrings are huge stars. Yeah. Okay. This is so Leo. So if you have Leo as either your rising or Venus, definitely dressing up like your favorite celebrity. You could do like a Marilyn Monroe homage. You could do anyone. There are so many cool celebrities you could dress up as, or like a lot of people are into dressing up like Olivia Rodrigo or Taylor Swift this year. Those would be good ones. So just think about that and have fun with it. As we can see, she was being very bold. She's being very bold, very Leo, by even making a declaration of love. Leo is known to do that. So maybe you'll do the same this year. Okay, but hopefully it'll work out better for you. All right, so next, as we move on from Leo energy, we move into more intense zodiac signs. So another intense zodiac sign known for its penetrating aura and the ability to just stick with it, get things done. It's the boss of the zodiac. You know who we're talking about, Capricorn. So a celebrity that has both Capricorn rising and Capricorn Venus is Olivia Rodrigo. I was shocked when I saw this. Absolutely shocked. This woman, we knew she was going places, but is she ever? Because as we all know, Capricorn is the boss of the zodiac. They accomplish things through hard work, staying power, and yeah, they can really channel their inner badass easily. So I was looking through Olivia Rodrigo's costumes, and the one that really resonated with her aesthetic the most, and wouldn't you know, it also coincides with her Venus and rising sign. That's what it's all about. You tend to just kind of look your best when you're dressing for those zodiac signs in your chart. She dressed up in 2021 as Michelle Pfeiffer's character from Scarface. with a blonde bob, the classic blue dress that we see in the movie. And she's doing these like poses. And that character in the movie is actually very Capricorn energy because she's around, like I would always think about Capricorns as like, the darker side of Capricorn would be like the gangster, the robber. Think about like money and power motivated, right? So the gangster, the robber, like, and that whole movie was about money and power. And part of her motivation was also to gain money and power. And she was definitely kind of a cold figure. So definitely giving Ice Queen energy. And I was here for it. It's pretty cool. So if you have Capricorn as one of your placements, you could either do kind of like what she's doing with sort of something that's a little more subtle and low key because Capricorn is an earth sign, but channeling some sort of Ice Queen character would be very cool. Either someone from a movie that you think that you kind of admire deep down, or someone who, or just like a character like a literal Ice Queen. Now, another person with Capricorn placements, very prominent, who definitely has done this Capricorn vibe very well is Kylie Jenner. So I mentioned before that she has worn all kinds of different costumes. She actually did do like kind of an Ice Queen look once. Perfect. Very Capricorn rising of her. And she also has dressed up like in 2020. She did a Power Ranger. I mean, can you get more literal? Capricorn loves power. Power Ranger. Okay, perfect. Also, little known fact, Capricorn rules the bones of the body. Every single zodiac sign rules over like a body part, a physical body part, and Capricorn rules over the bones. So in 2016, she actually went as a skeleton and she looked pretty amazing. And that's just because like, I don't know, a lot of people couldn't really pull that off and still look like sensual. Like I wouldn't necessarily say like, oh, they look their best in that skeleton makeup, but it's giving fabulousness. Like it looks good. And I gotta say it's because it's her Capricorn rising. Now she also has her Venus in Virgo. So if you have Venus in Virgo or your Virgo rising, this is kind of this is a placement that's like associated with like the goddess or angelic elements. So dressing up as like an angel or like a beautiful goddess wearing white, that would be really beautiful. You could even do like a white fairy. Because Virgo is known for being just like pure and beautiful and ethereal. So like I could even see like someone doing something really similar to what Kylie did. So she dressed up as a Victoria's Secret angel in 2018, but it was giving Venus and Virgo energy mixed with a little bit of Capricorn sauciness because she just looked so angelic. I mean, she was dressed up as an angel, but she just did like these little glittery pieces all over, little Swarovski crystals all over. And then she just had these angel wings that looked so beautiful and pure. Like I loved it. It was so pretty. So if you have, Capricorn, to recap, if you're going Capricorn, you're going to do like harsh, hard edges, very similar to Scorpio, like kind of dark, which we're going to get to next. And then if you're doing Virgo, just think angelic, kind of like a sweet little baby doll type of energy. You know what I mean? Just like innocent is what I'm trying to say. Like good and innocent and pure. And there are a lot of really beautiful costumes that you can do with that, like a princess. So Virgo, because Virgo is also the maiden. Oh my gosh. And if you want to get a little bit like spicy with it, doing, some of like the costumes that they have over like trashy lingerie that are the princesses, like they're definitely very like, they still are a little sexy. So that would be fun. Okay. Venus in Scorpio or Scorpio rising, like Cardi B. So Cardi B has a confirmed Venus in Scorpio. I'm not sure what her rising sign is. People have speculated that it's Aries. I don't want to say for sure, but it would definitely fit her aesthetic either way. But for the purposes of this, Venus in Scorpio, definitely Cardi B dresses for her Venus in Scorpio when she's doing a costume look. Now, there is this one look that she did a few years ago where she dressed up as Medusa and it was everything. I mean, she looks scary. She looks sexy. She looks a little bit evil because Medusa is evil, but she looks very like alluring. That is the Scorpio mystique. It's like you want to get close, but then you want to run away. And she perfectly captured that with this look. She also did something when she did like the Marge Simpson, she had Mugler design one of her outfits that was like black. And I don't think that it was actually like perfectly accurate to that costume to Marge Simpson. I think it was like custom for her to be a little bit different, but it was just really cool. And by dressing in black and being a little risque, she definitely kind of showed a different side of Marge Simpson, and it was the Scorpio side, we'll say that. So if you have this placement, the lucky colors for Scorpio are red, burgundy, black. Okay. So if you have a Scorpio rising or a Scorpio Venus, you're going to want to dress in like leather, or you could either do you could do lace if it's like black. You want to keep the aesthetic kind of goth, kind of dark, kind of scary. Or you can walk that line like Cardi B does with this Medusa look between sexy and scary. But I would say, this is not the placement that's going to be doing the princess. This is not the placement that's going to be doing the twinning or like the group costume. I mean, this is someone who is going to really pack a punch. All eyes are going to, turn. Or you could even do something like super scary. Also, Venus and Scorpio could do super scary because Scorpio rules like the underworld. Me, I have Venus and Scorpio. I don't like to do scary, but hey, if you do, you've got a little bit of a different side of that Scorpio to you, more power to you. Just let me know what party you're going to be at so I don't go because I'm scared. Okay. And then last but not least, the two beautiful water signs. So this will be no surprise to you guys. Halle Bailey, who was the Little Mermaid in the live motion picture, dressed up in 2022 with her boyfriend as Neytiri, and he went as Jake Sully. They did the whole avatar thing, and it was fabulous. It was blue. It was sparkly. It was kind of a precursor to what she was about to do in The Little Mermaid when she went full on, obviously, merwoman, wearing all of the blues, the purples, just looking beautiful. Well, she has her Venus in Pisces. So it is not surprising that she can really pull off this water aesthetic. She was made for the role of the Little Mermaid. Obviously, look at her birth chart. And she does great in anything that is fantasy driven or fantastical. So I could actually see her being cast in more of these types of fantasy roles because Pisces, similar to Gemini, is very much made for Halloween because Pisces is a shapeshifter, a chameleon. I mean, just like how Gemini can be multiple personalities, Pisces can morph into multiple things, and people can project their fantasies onto Pisces energy. Pisces is like a projector. They just can project back whatever it is to you that you are wanting them to be. So they make great actors, great actresses. They also make really great, people who are dressing up in a costume. They can really transform themselves into anything. And as we can see with Halle Bailey's full transformation here, it is amazing, beautiful, stunning. So if you have a Pisces placement, I mean, the most natural thing would be to dress up as like a mermaid or something that is associated with the sea. I really think that because Pisces is also so dreamy and romantic, being a mermaid would really be something that you guys would enjoy. But anything that's like romantic and ethereal, you could do the fairy as well because you can really morph into anything. But just think about your ruler Neptune. Think about, I love the underwater aesthetic for you guys. I really, really do. It just feels right, doesn't it? Trashy Lingerie is a really cool costume where they actually have like the sides of the tail attached to these strings and you can like move them so it looks like you're swimming. I mean, how cool is that? So Pisces, go full fantasy, fully commit and go all in because you guys were really just made for this holiday, and definitely being some sort of like beautiful princess or underwater creature is just going to suit you. You're going to never want to change out of the outfit. Okay. And then last but not least, so sweet. I love my Cancer people out there, and you guys are just amazing. You're so much fun. And you guys can really go one of two ways, I've noticed. So Margot Robbie is a Cancer rising. She's beautiful. She is stunning. She dressed up a few years ago as Jerry Halliwell from the Spice Girls, and she wore this amazing outfit. She did the British flag outfit. She did the wig. She did all of it. And the reason that I think that she did this, being a Cancer rising, is because Cancer also rules like the home and the hearth, and it rules childlike nostalgia. So just like some of these other zodiac signs like Sagittarius and even Pisces, just there's this dreaminess to them, and they are associated with like nostalgia and childhood memories. Cancer is the most associated with childhood memories. So if there is something nostalgic that you really love, something that you just enjoyed so much as a kid, maybe you want to dress up as NSYNC, the Backstreet Boys, whatever, that would be so much fun for you. And you can tell in this photo from her Instagram that she's just having the time of her life, because Cancer is all about like the heart. And so if you can tap into something that you truly love with your costume, like it's just going to make you have the best night. I mean, truly. So that's one way to go with it. Another person with prominent Cancer placements who always dresses really like cute and is giving that nostalgic energy is Jennifer Garner. One year she even dressed up as like a mailbox. Like she just is cute. She usually does costumes with her kids. She's just very sweet. And you can tell her Halloween celebrations always center around the home and creating like a warm, fun environment, trick-or-treating. You guys are going to be the ones who either go with the kids or you're handing out the candy for the kids. Y'all are just sweethearts. The other way that it could go for Cancers is if you do want to do kind of like an aquatic energy, maybe you're not going to be around kids, you don't have kids or whatever. You're not wanting to do the nostalgic thing this year. Go as a pirate. Okay. Go as a pirate. You will love it. You will look good. And it does combine the two elements of Cancer. Cancer is both soft and associated with, the water, the sea, the ocean as a water sign, but it's also associated with the crab. So not necessarily in the water. The crab stays, the crab will go into the water, but the crab also comes out of the water. And the crab has these like pointy little claws. Being a pirate would be really cool. And someone with prominent placements who did this and looked amazing at last year's Casamigos party, famous, fabulous supermodel Cindy Crawford, who is a Cancer rising, wore a full pirate woman outfit. It was shapely. It shows off your curves. Cancers are known for their curves, similar to Taurus and Libra. And so, don't be afraid to accentuate your curves. And I just think the pirate costume is the way to go. I don't know. It's just fabulous. You can accessorize, do all kinds of fun things, but it really does kind of bring out your persona of being associated with the sea, but also being someone like not to be messed with. A Cancer crab, like they're very sensitive and sweet, but if you wrong them or if they don't feel safe, they'll go into their shell and they'll use their little weapons. So anyway, okay. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did. This was so much fun. I love looking at all the costumes and I can't wait to see what you guys dress up as. So be sure to tag me on Instagram at Brit Madrid and let me know, send me a DM if you guys end up dressing for your zodiac sign. Let me know. Did you dress up for your Venus sign, your rising sign? You can even have me guess. That would be fun. Have me guess which one you dressed up as. But I just think it'll be so much fun. And I hope you guys have the happiest Halloween, no matter what you decide to dress up as. I just hope you guys have the best time. Spread all the cheer. Feel like a kid again. Do all that good stuff. All right, you guys, I love you so much. I will see you here next week for another all-new episode. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Turn on your notifications because we're about to be in Scorpio season, starting with the next episode. And you're not going to want to miss this even spookier content coming your way. All right, you guys, I'll see you next time. Take care.
Yay Networks.